Now we are going to learn about the branching control structure. Branch control structure means here the program basically checks for a condition, and if the condition is evaluated to true, then the program select some line of execution, and if the condition is false, then the program chooses some other lines of execution, as you can see in this left hand side figure. Now, a simple example can clarify the concept. For example, let's say you are driving and suddenly you saw a signboard where it is mentioned like if you want to go for city, then you have to go left, and if you want to go to the forest, or you have to, or otherwise you have to go to the right. So this is exactly what is being done in a branching control structure. You have to choose between two options, and now as you can see in here, for example, here there is a variable of type string which already has the value city inside. So now here what I have done is I have checked whether the value inside the variable var is equal to city or not. And if it is city, then you should go left, print go left, and else it will print go right. So the conversion to a C++ program of this same thing will look something like this. So here I have stored the string city inside a variable called str, and then in str I am checking whether the value of city equals or not, and if the value inside str equals city, then it will go left or it will go right. Now this type of branching in C++ is facilitated by the keyword if and else. If is followed by the condition based on which the program should decide its execution path. In this program, the condition is whether the value inside str variable is city or not. That's the condition. If that condition is true, which is in this case because str is already initialized to city in here, then the program will execute the part which is written inside this if statement. And if it is false, then it will directly, instead of executing this statement inside if, it will directly come to this else part and will execute the part in here. For example, if I change the value from city to forest in here, then instead of printing go left, this program will now print go right, because the condition str equals city is false. So that is about the simple branching using if else statement in C++. We will clarify the concept with a demo in the next video, but before that, let us analyze another scenario. It is always not possible to have only two options. It is very frequent that you have to select between two or more different options, three or more different options. Then how can you program it in C++? Is it possible? Well, of course it is possible. And in order to facilitate that, C++ has something called else if. Now, else if can come in between if and else. And there can be any number of else if statement possible in between an if and else statement. So in here, let's say instead of going to either forest or city, you want to go to the village. So here is an option, else if str equals village. If the value inside string is village, then go straight. Now instead of village, you may think of going to river or something. So for that also it is possible to write down one else if statement for river. Let's say an else if str equals river, something like this. And then you can do the cout for that river also. And not only river, it can be anything. You may decide to go to lake, you may decide to go to anywhere actually. So you can basically, what I am trying to say, you can have any number of branch instead of just only if and else. Here you can have as many as else if statement in between to support more branching in C++. So in the next video, we are going to clarify the same concept using a C++ code.